Welcome. We are standing right on the edge of a massive energy revolution. And let me tell you, 2025 is shaping up to be a pivotal year. Today, we're going to dig into the Bird and Bird Energy Outlook Report to really understand the huge forces that are about to power our world.
Okay, let's jump right into the heart of it with a question that pretty much defines everything we're about to talk about. Is artificial intelligence our best shot at solving the energy crisis, or is it actually becoming our biggest new headache? It's a huge paradox, and we need to unpack it. So, to really see what this means in practice, check this out. A single request to an AI like ChatGPT can use nearly 10 times the power of a standard Google search. Just think for a second about how many times a day you search for something. Now imagine that energy use, but multiplied by 10, for millions and millions of people. That's the staggering scale of the challenge we're looking at.
And this brings us right to the core tension for 2025, what we're calling the AI energy paradox. You see, on one hand, AI has this incredible potential to make our energy systems way smarter, way more efficient. But on the other hand, the data centers that are the brains of the operation, well, they have an enormous and rapidly growing thirst for electricity.
So, here's the deal, right? AI is kind of like a double-edged sword in our energy story. It can help us optimize our grids, seamlessly blend in more renewables, and even help us mine for critical materials more effectively. But, and it's a huge but, the data centers powering all this genius are absolute energy hogs, putting a massive new strain on our clean power goals.
So, with AI pushing energy demand through the roof, how in the world do we keep the lights on without just burning more fossil fuels? Well, the answer is a truly massive global push for renewable energy. Let's take a look at how the world is stepping up to this challenge.
Solar and wind are the absolute superstars here, no question. And while solar has been getting a lot of the limelight, 2025 is really shaping up to be the year of wind power, with enormous projects firing up everywhere from the North Sea all the way to the coasts of Asia.
$3 trillion. Let that number sink in. That's the mind-boggling amount the world poured into clean energy in 2024 alone, which was a new record. Just to put that into perspective for you, that's more than the entire economy of the United Kingdom. And guess what? In 2025, that number is only going to get bigger.
But here's where the story gets really interesting. It's not just the usual players leading this charge. The Middle East and North Africa, regions we've always associated with oil, are now tapping into their most powerful resource, the sun. They are positioning themselves to become the new superpowers of clean energy.
Okay, but here's the big catch with solar and wind, right? They're not always on. The sun sets, the wind dies down. Experts call this intermittency, and it's honestly one of the single biggest hurdles we have to overcome in this whole transition.
So, how do we fix this intermittency problem? The answer is giant batteries. BESS, or Battery Energy Storage Systems, are basically like huge power banks for our cities. They soak up all that solar and wind power when it's plentiful, and then they feed it right back into the grid when we need it most. It's what makes clean power a reliable 24/7 reality.
And just take a look at this. This might look like a field of shipping containers, but what you're actually seeing is the future of our energy grid. These battery storage facilities are the absolute key to unlocking the full power of renewables. And trust me, we're going to need a lot more of them.
And the clock is seriously ticking. At the recent COP29 Climate Summit, world leaders pledged to increase our energy storage capacity by 6 times by the year 2030. That is a monumental, almost unbelievable task, and we've got less than a decade to make it happen.
But building this incredible clean energy future, it's not just about clever technology. It's about raw materials. And that has kicked off a new kind of global gold rush, a frantic race to secure the minerals that are going to power the entire 21st century.
Yeah, this isn't just some digital transition happening on our screens. It's a very, very physical one, grounded deep in the earth. It all starts right here, in places like this, with mining for critical stuff like lithium, cobalt, and copper. These are the essential building blocks for all of our green tech. This scramble for resources has led to this new trend people are calling resource nationalism. All it really means is that countries are desperately trying to control their own supply of these critical minerals, from digging them up at home to building their own processing plants. As you can see here, it's become a global game of chess, and every major power is trying to secure its pieces on the board.
But it's not just about what's in the ground, it's also about the wires in the air. Our energy grid is the backbone of our entire economy, but a lot of it is decades old. It just wasn't built for the kind of challenges we're throwing at it. We are talking about a massive, system-wide overhaul, a project that's going to require us to rebuild or replace 80 million kilometers of power lines by 2040.
So how on earth do we overcome these massive physical hurdles? Well, the answer lies in making the entire system more intelligent, more connected, and a whole lot more efficient.
And this is exactly where we come full circle. The very same technology, AI, that's driving up all this energy demand can also be our greatest weapon in this fight. We can use AI to build smarter grids, create more efficient buildings, and even make our supply chains for minerals more transparent and ethical. It's really about using technology to solve the very problems that technology itself helped create. So, at the end of the day, the challenge for 2025 and beyond isn't really a lack of innovation, and it's not a shortage of investment either. The money is there, the technology exists. The real question, the one that matters most, is about speed and scale. It's a race against time. Can we deploy all these solutions fast enough to keep up with our own ambitions and to power our amazing, intelligent future?